This is my friend Sue, and Sue will be playing the role of Karen today, and Sue has given me her permission to record this. Thank you, Sue.
Welcome.
Okay, now, hi Karen. The doctor has said that you're a little bit upset and that you wanted to have a chat with someone today. So.
Yes. I've just found out that my son Jack has autism. So it's something I've suspected for a long time, but to actually get the diagnosis is quite upsetting. I'm quite sad.
Yeah.
Sad about that. Yeah.
Tell me a bit more about that. So you said that it's something you've been in the works for a while.
Yeah, so I've thought for a long time there's been something a little bit different about Jack. And it's taken a long time to get testing and a long time to get a diagnosis. So you would think that I'd be really happy now that I've got the diagnosis, but I'm actually really sad.
Yeah. And I think that's understandable, isn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, you kind of, your son's got this kind of label attached to him, and you kind of don't really know what that means for him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So yeah, it's just that it means he's different. He's not my little boy anymore. He's a different little boy now. Yeah.
Do you think that is the case though? Is he still your little boy? Does the label change him?
I don't know. Maybe to other people, I think it probably does. Yeah.
I think that's an important thing to think about, is that he's still your son. That boy's still there.
Yeah.
It's perhaps just what the label means for other people.
Yeah. And I guess part of me wanted to be wrong, so that he would just be still the same little boy.
Yeah. And that's completely understandable. I think that no one wants our children to kind of stand out, do we?
Yeah, that's very true.
And I mean, I guess the thing about the diagnosis is that, they can label him as a little bit different, but the other side of it is that now you can actually go about getting some services and some interventions and things like that for him before that perhaps were not available to you.
True. Yeah.
Have you had an opportunity to have a kind of look through any of that?
No,
kind of stuff?
none at all yet. We've only just found out.
Yeah,
so.
and it can be quite overwhelming. There's lots of different options and things like that. And one of the services that we offer here is we can go through all of that with you, because it is really quite overwhelming for new parents, especially if you're in this stage now where you're kind of grieving for the son that you had and the expectations and dreams and things that you had for him.
Yeah.
Kind of we can get dealing with that, and then we can kind of get onto some more practical material matters for you.
Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit more about what's going on with Jack and.
Well, I suppose the other thing that's happened is that it's been a really rough year actually, because I've separated from my husband. So David and I have been together for 5 years.
Okay.
And we had Jack, and I feel part of the reason that we've broken up is that Guy kept saying that there was something wrong and that we needed, and no one would believe me. And David said I was just being overprotective and silly, and so that's caused a big rift. So I've actually moved away from him, which is a whole other set of worry.
Yeah. Absolutely. So kind of as a mother, you kind of really had that instinct that something just wasn't right, and you felt that it was just ignored by people.
Everyone, no one would believe me. Yeah.
So you felt that from your husband and from medical staff as well, from doctors, or just really kind of within your group of people.
Mostly family. Yeah, but even kinder and medical people, I guess. Yeah.
So you really had to kind of fight
I have. Yeah. And now I feel like I'm going to be fighting again and again now that we have this diagnosis.
Yeah. So you kind of feel like you're a little bit, I guess, you're like a bit of a mama bear having to be in battle all the time.
Yeah.
And you don't kind of have that support because your partner's not there anymore.
That's right. Yeah. And then there's the money issues on top of things. I've had to move we had a beautiful house in Essendon that we bought and we did up, and David's got to stay there, but I've had to move, and now, we're living in rented accommodation. It's not nearly as nice as what we had, and I keep worrying about where the money's going to come from. I used to have a fantastic job, but now I'm working part-time retail at Target, just because I need to look after Jack, so I need hours that will suit us.
Yeah. So not only have you kind of lost your marriage and that relationship, you've kind of almost lost your community and your home. And
true.
Yeah. So that's a kind of a lot to
It's
take
hard.
in.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, then there's the worries about the money. And,
That's right.
And now that's even probably a bit compounded because not only are you worrying about just being a single mum to Jack, but being a single mum to Jack with, you know, a diagnosis on him as well.
That's right. Yeah, and whether that's going to affect me getting more work because I'm going to need to be there with. We tried creche, but he didn't fit into creche. Didn't like creche very well. That was very hard. So I don't like to leave him in childcare or creche.
Yeah.
So I need to be able to work around him.
Yeah. And it's quite difficult, isn't it? Like you said, you're working in retail, which is something that can work around those kind of hours and things, but the pay is
Money's
not great.
not very good. No.
And what did you do before you had Jack?
So I was an analyst. We were both, David and I were both analysts, and and then I chose to stay home with Jack. So he's still doing his job, but now I'm not. I can't get back into that field. It's been too long.
Yeah. So even though you both kind of started off on an even keel, as it were, because of the time that you've taken off to, you know, in that caring role, you feel like you've kind of lost your place in that as well.
Yeah.
I can imagine as well that the hours for an analyst are probably not very family friendly.
No, they were very long hours, very tiring.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, even if I was able to get back into it, I couldn't leave Jack for a long time.
Yeah, that's completely, I think, understandable as well. I think that's quite common for a lot of women, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know,
I guess so. Yeah.
You know, they want to do that. They want to be there for their kids, and they feel kind of torn and conflicted between those two roles.
Yeah.
And they end up, like you said, you know, taking that time out of work and you know, committing to their family. And then if there's a marriage breakdown, unfortunately, they often end up being the people who are worse off financially. Yeah. And I mean, again, that's something that we can help you with because I know that things like navigating Centrelink and things like that are really, really difficult. But that's something that we can help you with here in the centre as well. So if that's something that you wanted to talk about, we can certainly go ahead.
Yeah, that would be great. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. It's the same with all the NDIS stuff with Jack. There's so much to it, but you know. That's kind of where we kind of can come in and really kind of support you through that process because it can be a little bit kind of difficult. So it sounds like, so you've come in, you've got Jack who you've been fighting, saying that this is, you know, something's not quite right here. You've got your marriage breakup, you've lost your job, you've lost, you know, there's some things around, you know, your identity, your community, your home that, like, and I could see when you spoke about your home how much that meant to you, and so. You've really kind of lost a lot.
Well, that's not all of it.
Okay.
So, just after I left David, I found out I was pregnant.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and I lost that. Like, I had a miscarriage. So
sorry
that was so that was very sad. It wasn't ideal timing, obviously, but I still was, you know, thought that I could manage with another baby. But so that was another sadness as well.
So a loss on top of that as well. So this year has not been kind of kind to you.
It hasn't been a great year, no.
So, you know, the way I think that if someone was having one of those challenges, they would probably be feeling pretty despondent, pretty low. But to be dealing with all of those things, it's no wonder that you kind of feel that you're a little bit kind of overwhelmed by everything.
Very overwhelmed.
But that's a lot.
Yes, but
when you probably have never kind of sat it out and kind of laid it out in a kind of chronological order and kind of said, well, these are the things that have happened this year. But when you do, you can really see the amount of loss and things. That you're kind of going through a grieving period. And sometimes people don't really feel like you can grieve things. They think that grief is just associated with death. But, you know, you've got the symbolic loss of the son that you thought you were going to have, and a new son, the loss of your marriage and what that future held for you, and the loss of your home and your community, and also the loss of a baby. Like that's a huge loss as well. That's an awful thing to have to go through. So what I'm wondering is I know David's obviously not around anymore, but who's supporting you outside?
Well, I've sort of, like, I did have good family support, but I feel like I'm even that more distant to my family now. So when I had the miscarriage, they weren't very sympathetic because they said, well, you know, your marriage is over and David was no good, and so it's actually for the best that this has happened, which
that must have been really hard.
Which was very hard, So I'm a little bit estranged from them as well. I find that, I thought that I'd get some support of them. And I think they're the same thing with the autism. They're not really, they didn't think there was anything wrong with Jack. So,
And so that must be quite hurtful as well to hear those words of, you're better off, when you're dealing with the loss of what to you is a baby.
That's
To
right.
them, it wasn't, perhaps wasn't real, but to you it was definitely it was your baby.
It's my baby. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so that's really hard. So we've got the family there, and they're somewhat supportive, or we've moved away from them.
A little bit, but it's quite tense at the moment. So I tend not to ask them for help, and not with Jack and things. Yeah.
So even kind of in terms of not only they're not emotionally kind of there for you, they're not even kind of physically there to help with some of the day to day.
No.
So is there anyone else, any other friends or anything like that?
I don't like to ask people though. So I've never been a person that asked people, and so all of my friends that I had from work have sort of drifted away, and because they're still working long hours and that happens, they're busy and they've all got their lives. And not really friends with anyone from Target. We're just all different, I guess. Yeah, everyone goes and does their shift and then goes home, sort of thing.
So you've not really got a lot of people to kind of talk about.
Don't think so, no.
Because we actually offer at the community centre here. We can offer you some counselling services as well. So we've got a couple of self-help groups and groups of women that meet for various kind of things. We've got a single mums group. We've got living with kids with disabilities, and also if you wanted to come and see me again in the future, we can certainly arrange that as well.
That sounds good. That sounds really good.
Right, well, perhaps we can arrange that.
An appointment. All right.
Excellent. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.